This moon and you're feeling anxious, we're going to be doing breath work right now. So hang in here, get into this program. We are going to be doing breath work with Breath Messiah. What you can do is put down your intention for this breath work class today. And we're going to start right away. So as you come in, put down your intention, a single word that you want, and also put down how you're feeling. Looking forward to having everybody here today. And we are bringing up breath. We're going to talk and get to know them. So put down in the comments there. Also, give us hit the forward button and forward this to a few friends. It's going to help the algorithm move on. Hey! How you doing,
What's going
Isaiah?
on? What's going on?
So Isaiah, we're just getting the ball rolling here. We've been having these weird Tuesday morning starts because we do a Monday night class and a Tuesday class in between Jay and myself. So we're letting people just kind of to get in. So they're giving us a bunch of likes, and they're going to take and hit that button right down there on the corner and forward it off to friends. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your name,
Cool.
where you are, your birthday, those things that are important to us.
Yeah. So I'm Isaiah. I'm from Wisconsin. I currently live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and I'm born May 21st, 0 degree Gemini. Um,
Are you in my 29-0 group now? You
yep.
are, right? Okay,
Yep.
good. Yeah, 0 degree Gemini. Yeah.
Yep. So
And this is
how,
perfect because we're coming up to the equinox. I'm a Grandmaster Sagittarius and you're a Grandmaster Gemini.
yeah.
And you know what's funny? Ryan, who normally does this, is a Grandmaster Gemini.
There we go. Trifecta.
So how long have you been what brought you to doing breathwork?
What brought me to doing breath work was a lot of pain, a lot of so I had 2 hip surgeries at 19, and I was in search of anything to make me feel relief, feel a little bit better. I couldn't barely walk. That was a significant trouble in my life, being an athlete. And breathwork was the first thing that made me not stressed. Like, that's when it got me to understanding sympathetic, parasympathetic. By just changing your pH through your breath, you're literally not as stressed. You're not as constricted. You're not as tight. So that started unconsciously, like 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
Consciously breathing, probably about 6 years.
right. And
So,
you do in-person, online workshops,
yep,
in-person workshops, one-on-one
yep,
stuff.
yep. So basically, right now, I've taken a break from doing one-on-ones and stuff, but I'm starting back to do more groups, more consistent classes offering different places. So I'm excited for what 2024 has in store with breath.
Yeah, yeah, people are going to need it, and it's interesting because a lot of people talk about pH, but they don't really realize why. It's when you are the number one dysregulator of pH in our body is our stress hormones, and so when stress hormones go up, our pH goes down immediately, and it causes a very acidic environment. And when we do breath work, we bring the body out of stress, so adjusting the hormones and then neutralization of our pH.
Yeah. And I would even say it's like once I understood this, I was like, yo, light bulb effect. What's the first thing you say to a kid or somebody who's overwhelmed?
Breathe.
Take a deep breath. It's okay. So then I was like, okay, as kids, they tell us this, but after you turn 18, nobody tells you take a deep breath.
Right,
Nobody tells you calm down. It's okay.
right.
Nobody ever says, how are you breathing? Are you okay? Like those aren't like once you're into adulthood, like past teen, nobody asks you take a deep like, have you taken a deep breath today? Are you okay? Like that's not a question I've ever been asked. So that's where I was like, it's that easy. It's that simple.
I saw this I saw this video with these two kids, and they must have been like, I'm gonna say, like 5 and 3 or something like that. And this girl's freaking out, and the boy beside him goes, "Have you have you taken a deep breath today?" No. You're gonna need to.
For real.
For real. Yeah. It's one of those memes that's going around. And
Yeah.
I mean, I should have actually saved it because it was so funny. It was so true. And the
Yeah.
kids get it right away.
Yeah. So
So how do you normally start a session? What do you want me to do today?
all right. So first,
You're guiding me.
all right, cool. So first, I just like to basically feel where you are. So no judgment. Just move your neck, move your shoulders. Basically, if you were to do a scan, a scan stretch. So just become aware wherever tightness, stiffness, whatever is happening. Is it low back? Is it hips? Like where do people feel tension? Like if you're aware of where tension is, now we can breathe into it. So basically, first, I just want people to just move
It's
around.
funny. I got a little bit up here, and it says my body's shifting.
Yep.
I got a little bit between my shoulder blade, and that's of course that's my gallbladder, and it's right where my bladder meridian. So that's fear and resentment in the physical world, and I've been working that sucker out for actively for 4 years, right? That's the only place I can feel it.
Okay, cool. For me right now, it's my left hip. So
Left hip, moving forward in your feminine emotional side.
all right, let's get it.
You're a Gemini. That's the course.
Yep.
That's almost par for the course. It's almost like a Gemini badge. I got to
Yeah.
move forward emotionally.
Yep. So then next I like to do is basically try to stretch as tall as you can and just see wherever you're at. Okay. So just remember this place. Remember how hard it is, how easy it is, but like I just want you to feel what it feels like to stretch your body. Okay. Then next I just want you to shake your hands, shake your body out a little bit. Just feel free a little bit.
Can you move that back?
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. The next one, I want you to put your pinkies right on your hip.
Pinky's on my hip.
Yep. So what you're going to do is put your pinkies right there on your hip, your thumb on your rib cage. So now, 6 breaths, I want you to just expand your diaphragm and your belly as wide as you can and just focus on your breathing.
Breathing through my mouth.
In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Okay.
Just imagine you're oxygenating every cell. Three more. The best one. Good. Once again, just slowly shake out those hands, move around a little bit. And then
I became aware of the difference between my right and my left side in the hip expansion, rib expansion.
Okay. So basically the reason I like to do that one first is just because now you're aware of how you're breathing. You can feel in your ribs, your lungs, like you can feel where things are not allowing you to expand. All right.
Like that.
Okay. So the next one that I like to do is all about letting go. So what I would say is a foundational part of my practice is like just teaching our body and our mind to let go. Right. So if I'm like this when I start and I'm like this afterwards, that means I let go of whatever I was holding on to in some aspect.
Sure.
So all we're going to do with our hands, we're going to inhale. We're going to inhale and squeeze our hands all the way up. And then we're just going to exhale, push our hands to the ground.
Keeping a fist?
Yep. So you're inhaling like here, and then you're pushing.
Okay.
Touch the ground.
Inhale up, fist, and then push.
Yep. Exhale, push it down. Yep. I'll adjust this.
Let's see. I got a weird stand. We didn't have all our equipment coming from Mexico, so I got a rookie stand. Okay. I think I better not mess around with this too much. Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're going to do 6 of those again. So inhale, squeeze those hands and shoulders up. Exhale, push it to the ground. Try to let go of any tension. Every breath, just try to let go. Push it down to the ground and push. Let go of those shoulders. And let it go. Best one, squeeze up tall. And then let it fall. And then once again, just shake it out a little bit, move around, see what you're aware of now.
Feeling good.
Okay. So now, next one, I want you to put your hands like you're holding 2 plates. This time what you're going to do, you're opening your shoulders. So our heart is one of the most powerful things. Now we're combining our heart and our breath. So all I want you to focus on is breathing from those belly all the way to your heart, then drop those shoulders, let go even more. So imagine it's like this going down. You're trying to breathe through this whole entire channel. Okay? 6 times, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Then after that one, shake all those arms, just walk around a little bit, let your body integrate.
My body's changing. I had some crunchy in my scapulas. I didn't realize I had there. It's weird.
Yeah. So what's the biggest difference you noticed from now to the first breath that we took?
I feel a little bit. I feel a little bit high actually. So kind of feel like I took some mushrooms. Um, also, I feel very calm and focused at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how's that? You said left shoulder, right?
Right shoulder.
Right
You know,
shoulder.
it's already loosened up a little bit.
Okay, cool. So this next one is one of my favorite ones because what I realized is a lot of people have neck and shoulder pain because being on a device, being sedentary lifestyle. So the goal first we're gonna do is you're gonna inhale, push your chin out. When you exhale, you're trying to bring your chin right over your spine. Okay, so just 6 times. You're just trying to push your neck out as far as you can. When you exhale, bring it right on top of your shoulders.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 6 times, in through your nose, out through the mouth. Every breath, use that breath. Next one, go side to side with your head and your neck. So left ear, left shoulder, breathe in. And right ear, right shoulder, breathe out. And breathe out. One more. Good. And then shake it out again. Move around a little bit.
This feels really good, actually. It's a different pattern than I'm used to. I like the focus on posture because the posture focus, I can feel the difference in my body.
Yeah. That's exactly what I had to realize is like tension normally happens because of how we're positioned. And then if we get ourselves in good posture, get oxygen, the body fixes itself. The same with human garage. It's like, you're like, how, like for me, every time I sweat, I start sweating and I'm taking 6 breaths. And I'm like,
So why did you choose 6 breaths out of curiosity?
Me?
Yeah.
What did I choose to express?
Oh, why are you choosing 6, the number 6 breaths?
Because that's Earth. I think you taught me that. It's like six is Earth, 6 to 9 is the sweet spot.
Yeah, because 6 is the balance point. And 6 is actually also the lungs. It's Libra. That's what I was asking. I was asking.
I'm a Libra rising, so yeah, makes sense. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that Libra was 6. I just know that I remember you always say
3
to
is
9 is the sweet spot.
3 is Sagittarius, Jupiter, your story, the color blue in your stomach. 6 is Libra, the balance of the lungs, and you also have 12 organs, including your skin and your fascia. 6 are hot and 6 are cold. So it's like a minimum effective dose.
Okay.
That's why I was asking. Fascial maneuvers is designed around that, and it's very specific. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah. Okay. So now what I want us to go back to is that first where we reached up and tried to touch the ceiling. See how that feels now. Can you reach higher? Is it easier?
Yeah, higher and easier. Yeah.
Okay.
And less. Yeah, I got the crunchiness is going on my scapula, which is actually kind of weird because normally I don't have that, but I'm having so much body changes right now. My shoulders and my rib cage hasn't quite set in its new spot yet.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to do 3 more exercises, and then we'll just talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one, this is one of my favorites. It's about inhaling. So your hands are by your side.
Yeah.
Hands are by your side. You're inhaling your shoulders up. And when you exhale, the whole point is trying to roll and then be taller. So imagine a turtle coming out of your shell. So once you get here, when you exhale, try to stand up taller like you're coming out of your shell.
Keep my head forward or look up?
Looking forward, looking straight ahead.
Okay, got it.
So 6 breaths, inhale, pull those shoulders up. And then exhale, just stand up taller. You might feel some tension in your collarbones as you open yourself up. Just keep standing up tall. Best one. Good job. And shake it out. Walk it out a bit.
I really do like these. I mean, very simple, very easy, but I feel a very distinct postural correction. And I'm pulling my spinal pelvic lock in too. So I pull my spine in, pull up my sex organs when I do that. And I feel that as I'm doing that, then everything starts to align.
Yeah. Because once again, it's like the body knows what it needs. We just need to get out of our way, let our breath like get cycle. That's how I look at it. It's like, how can you get the breath to the bottom of your toes to the top hair?
This is going to be a miracle because you're a Gemini. So to get out of your brain and listen to your body.
That's what I have to do. I have to literally start my day, water, human garage, breathing. What's going to happen now? Because otherwise I'm like, like it's not good. So breath is powerful. Breath is super powerful. Okay. This is one of my favorites. What we're going to do now is we're going to inhale up like this. When I exhale, I want you to try to like push the stress, the tension, anything you want to let go into the ground.
Okay.
So it's basically like you're doing a bicep curl all the way up. Then I'm just pushing it away.
Keep the hands open when you go down.
Yep. When you push it down, try to like really
Curl when you go up and then push down.
push. Yep. Correct.
Okay.
All right, here we
Barbell
go.
push up.
Huh?
It's a dumbbell and a push up.
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go. 6 times. Breathe up. Squeeze it up. And really think powerful. Let go. More. And powerful. Let go. Yep. Squeeze it up. Let everything go. Last 3. Let everything go. Squeeze. And release. Best one. And release. Now just take your time. Just stay in there. Feel how it feels.
Wow, I feel super high.
Okay.
And we got a tingling in my nose.
That's awesome.
Oof. A little bit of sweat here. That's it.
So let me ask you, what's the biggest, right? We've done probably 4 or 5 exercises of 6 breaths. What's the biggest difference from the first breath with the rib cage to now, right now?
So if I go back right here in my rib cage,
Yep.
when I started, I was having an uneven breath, which means that in my pelvic floor, I was torqued because I'm breathing and it would go up like this. So that's completely corrected. Amazingly, and I mean amazingly, the right tightness in my shoulder has let go, which is also ties down to the rib cage. I feel super high, like I'm talking, like if you're on mushrooms or DMT or something like that, or ketamine, you kind of hear yourself talking. I hear myself talking. So, and I don't exactly know why that is, because I do a lot of breath work, but something's different here.
Yeah, yeah. So one way I'll always look at it is no matter where we are, if we've learned how to consciously breathe in our posture, we just made space. So with space, there's more resonance, there's more echo, there's more like, you know, and even you're someone like you who does this like more than most people, like, you know what I mean? Me even, I can instantly tell. That's why I made it so simple, because complexity makes people, all we're doing is standing up straight, taking a deep breath. 6
Yeah,
times.
it's amazingly simple and effective. You know, I like the idea because in fascial maneuvers, when I channeled the work, I was harnessing things like the 6 breaths as a dosage. And not that you can't do more, but it's the least amount of effort for the body for the most amount of reward. And there's something to that when you do that over, and that's why I like you incorporating this.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. So let's do 2 more, and then any questions or anybody has any comments we can share. So this one, I want you to pretend you're a star, like literally a star in the sky, no different. We're literally, you always say we're cilia, you know? So literally think of a star in the sky, whichever one you want to be, that's you right now. And now I want you to literally spread your arms and your legs as wide as you can.
Alpha Centauri.
Okay, that's the one you are.
That's
And
where I'm from.
this time, as you breathe in, you have to spread yourself as wide as you can, like really like shine bright. And when you exhale, you just gotta let go, because you're gonna shine brighter again. So every breath you're shining
Bright like a
brighter.
diamond.
Then
Bright like a diamond.
yep, just like that. Okay, 6 times. Try to stretch and be as big as you've ever been. Breathe in and release. Stretch a little further. Release. Try to really shine big. And release. 3 more. You're a big star. Release. 2. Release. That's 1. And let go. Now just check in, move your body a little bit, see how you feel.
Man, I'm weird. I'm really weirded out because I'm very high for that little amount of breathing I'm doing.
That's why I say I don't know how to. I just say I'm a transformational breath coach. I don't know what's
Well,
happening.
I
I know
mean,
it's real. I know it works.
well, we're conveying energy too, and technically
Yeah.
you're the opposite of me. So if you're breathing, I'm breathing at the same time. We're getting both ends of that spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll do one more. Let me think. All right, let's do this one. So this one we'll do 3 and 3. So this time we're gonna do the one where we reached. So when you inhale, I want you to reach taller. When you exhale, just drop a little bit. And this time when you inhale again, reach even higher. Exhale again. So this is gonna just teach us how to stretch and make space.
On our coming up on our toes or flat feet?
Nope, just stay flat. Just stay
Okay.
flat-footed. You're just reaching taller through your spine. So imagine your low back. You can reach another 2-3 inches.
Yeah, and I'm pulling in my spine. I can feel the sacrum coming in too. Yeah.
Yep. So that, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna do 3 breaths with our pinky on our hips, the diaphragm. So we're gonna do 3, reaching, then 3 right here. Okay. Here we go. Every time, raise the bar. I like to call this raise the bar. So you got to go higher each one. Try to raise the bar just 3 times. Here we go. Inhale tall. And then exhale, let go. Raise the bar higher. Let it go. One more. Let it go. Good. Then pinky on that hip, thumb on that rib cage, as big as you can breathe. And release. Try to be even bigger through that rib cage. Best one. And release. Good job. Now just shake it out, walk it off. See how you feel.
Wow. Man, incredibly effective. I mean, I'm still blown away. I legitimately feel like I've done psilocybin or something. I'm slurring my words.
So what I always like to say is when we breathe in power, we learn our own power. So everybody.
So let's talk, but let's open it up to people. If you have any questions or you want to make a comment with Isaiah, he's been doing this for a while. This is pretty powerful stuff. Yeah, put a question in the comment section right now. Can we do this again? I missed it. It will be posted live. So how often would this practice, if we weren't talking in between, it would have been about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often would you do something like this?
As the more the better. You know,
Yeah.
the way I look at it is if you know how you feel, if you're aware of how your body is, and you know that you have a tool that you can go to, it's like you owe it to yourself. So I look at it as like, if I know my hips are hurting, what do I need to do? Let me do the reach and breathe into each hip. Real simple. Like it doesn't have to be complex. Like, how do I get oxygen to the cells that feel constricted?
So somebody asked a good question. Well, where do we get more? Do you have any of this stuff on video?
Do I have any? Not that I posted yet.
Okay.
So
Well,
what I can see
we're gonna tag you in this, so I'll collaborate with you, so you can post this on your wall. They can follow up, and this will be on our wall. So somebody said I have a deviated septum on the left side. Would you say anything to them about it? Would you change the breathing or how you do it?
Is it painful to breathe? I broke my nose 3 times, so I've never deviated my septum, but I got hit with a shovel. I've got I kneed myself doing a double front flip into a sky zone. So I broke my nose 3 times in my life.
So breaking your nose is trying to get attention up to open up your heart.
Mm.
It's usually to do with a broken heart, like your heart, and it could be a relationship, but it could be just like I'm not loving myself enough. And
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely a Gemini thing. It's like I gotta open up my emotions because I think about them too much.
Yeah. Is a deviated septum means this thing is like crooked, or it's like
Yeah, it's like it could be David or on. But here's one of the things we can try. So let's take your left hand, pin the skin on the left side or the right side of your nose. So you see, I'm going to pin it right on the smile line. Take the right hand, push the skin back, and then breathe and move around. And this helps for a deviated septum. We'll do both sides, but feel that. Take a deep breath in and feel your lungs. The right one opens up a little bit more. Because this area fascially, our body's in 3 zones of pressure. And every part of my body that's here is duplicated up here and down there. For example, I have a center bone right here that stabilizes and tells this region of the body where I am in space and time. That center bone is right here to my nose, and the other one is right here on my tailbone. So each area has an area of spine. The top has cervical, the mid has thoracic, and the bottom has lumbar. They all have a pressure relief valve. My ears are the pressure relief valve here. Here, my diaphragm, there's actually 2 holes that goes through it. I'll show it to you in a second. And in my bum, I got a pressure relief valve in my ears. So this is when you say my cheeks down here have my lungs, my cheeks here, also my cheeks here. My my heart is here, my heart is here, and then my heart is here. So they all have a corresponding fascial connection, and we're going to release stuff like this probably sometime this year. We didn't want people to get too technical because they tend to intellectualize. So I'll actually show you the you can see that, yeah.
Yep.
I'll show you the hole in the diaphragm so people can get their head around it. So if we were to take, let's just take some of the muscles off here. So in the diaphragm here, see we have 2 holes right here. So
Yep.
one hole is for the esophagus, and the other hole, can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, one hole is for the esophagus, and one hole is for the primary arteries that go through. And so what happens? Imagine those holes are covered with like a plastic, and then the esophagus goes through. So you know when you sit down and squat, you feel all that pressure in the diaphragm.
Yep.
Because what's happening is it's building pressure up into here when I squat, and eventually these holes relieve pressure. They open up, kind of like a fart. It's like it's like an internal fart, and then the pressure goes up into the midsection. And here's another thing too that most people don't know. If you put your hands above your head like this, breathe in through your nose, feel where the air goes. Breathe in again. Now purse your lips and suck air through a straw and feel where it goes. So when you breathe through your mouth, the air predominantly goes in below the diaphragm. When you breathe through your nose, the air typically goes above the diaphragm, so it pushes it up. So if I want air to go into my head, neck, and shoulders, I breathe in through my nose. If I want it to go in my pelvic floor, I go in the diaphragm. And this is why a lot of the breathing and fascial maneuvers is through the mouth, because people have the most constriction in their pelvic floor and their ribcage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting because I remember that's where I learned that from. So now what I do is it's like tennis, right? So it's like, okay, let's get it to our brain. Now let's get it to our hips.
Yeah.
Let's get it to our shoulders. Let's relieve this tension. Now our hips are more loose. So it's
Somebody,
just like a go ahead.
somebody asked, is there breath? Oh, we got to do the other side. Right
No.
hand on the other side. Pull the skin. Wow. My brain just calmed down.
Yeah, me too.
Quiet. So, you know how our nose takes air in and it adjusts it, sympathetic, parasympathetic throughout the day. So, breathing in one side creates energy, one side creates calm. The body's always regulating which side. The challenge is if I got an adhesion or if I get a really torqued face or an adhesion or swelling or something like that on one side, when it switches to that side, it can't do it and then it goes to the other side. So that actually can make my body, my digestive tract, too acidic or too alkaline. Because you can be way too alkaline too. Like if you're too alkaline, you burp all the time, it'll cause issues with your teeth. It will cause brain fog and lethargia. So it's your brain, your body's looking to balance, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said,
Yeah.
what's your handle name? It's Breath Messiah, right?
Yeah. Breath. The messenger of breath.
I have a mesh put on my diaphragm. If you have a mesh put on your diaphragm, do the upper reset and the lower reset, switch them each day. That will open up your diaphragm. A second here. Cervical laminostropy 2020, lots of scar tissue. So, do you work with people that have a lot of scar tissue? Is that the kind of some of the people that come to you?
Yeah, so 80% of the people that I meet are in pain. So that's why I meet them. They're looking for anything. I'm open to anything. Because myself, I overcame 2 hip surgeries, learned this modality, went as far as I can, showing and teaching people. So most people I work with are in pain. Um, they're in pain. They're anxious. Um, but yeah, they had some surgery, some injury, and they want relief or they want to feel like themselves.
Wow, Nina Florence, I just broke my 2 front teeth last night. I bit into cutlery, felt real dumb. What do teeth represent? The front ones is bladder, it's fear, Nina. So let's go on the tooth chart here. Tooth hurty. How do you know it's time to change? It's when it's tooth hurty. Dumb jokes, eh? Okay, let's do photos. Favorites. Let's take a look at what she's dealing with here. Okay, so what you have in the front teeth here, if you can see that, is you have kidney and bladder. So with these incisors, and for me, my it's funny because my eyes and then my large intestines, grief and fear, those are the teeth that my body chose to decide to detox. And I'm working on it. By the way, I found a frequency device in Alberta that regrows teeth in 30 days. And it's been
I've
around
heard of it.
since.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it. It's like a cap that goes on it and then it
Yeah,
stimulates with sound or something.
yeah, absolutely. So that's what she's dealing with. So I'm experiencing cleansing from my sinuses for days now. It's a violent detox. Do maneuvers every day, helps breath. My ears are also clearing. I think that's pretty common. Are you noticing that right now with a lot of people? You noticing a lot of detox in people today?
Yeah, I'm noticing. I think you were one of the first people that said like people's karmic experiences have to be released,
Yeah.
and because that's uncomfortable, we don't know what it feels like to go through a detox karmically of old energy, old outdated things. It's it's like and then it's like just breathe into it, and then it's going to naturally dissolve. And then now as you keep going into it, into yourself, into your breath, you realize like, oh, I can feel like this, right? Like how we just felt when we finished our last breath, that can be your baseline, you
Right.
know. But it takes a willingness and a courage to say, all right, I have pain, I have to go into it and let go of it. I have to go into this grief, this fear, this anger, and I have to let it go.
Speaking
So
of, so you're at 0 degrees. So did on 0 degree Sagittarius, which was 19 days ago, were you coming up to that? Were you having a lot of let's say issues emotionally in your mind, stuff like that?
yeah, I would say for me, the biggest shift has been choosing courage. So like with everything that comes my way, how can I act with courage?
Hmm.
Because I've been reading the book Letting Go, and it talks about the emotional scale and understanding the only way to transcend lower emotions is courage.
So
So
what does courage mean to you? Like how do you define courage?
for me, courage is like this is how I would define it. Wherever I'm feeling, it's like I have to like put on my superhero like like allow whatever already exists, the greatness, like right here. I have to like get that out of the way and like stand with my
Yeah,
heart.
that's a good way. That you're describing the way I say it is I say courage is not the absence of fear. It's it's doing things in spite of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like fear doesn't go away. Courage is just standing in front. And the courage, courage or confidence and fear are the same chemicals in the body. Your perception tells you which one it is. Same thing with sadness and joy. That's why we cry when we're sad and we cry when we're joyful.
Mm. The one that I always resonate the most with is excitement and anxiety. What's the diff? Like, you're,
Yeah. I
you know what
mean,
I mean?
I had that the other day. It was funny because I thought anxious for a minute, and then I had to talk myself out of it because I'd been traveling and stuff like that. And I'm like, wait a second here. What would I be anxious about? Like, there's not one part of my life that makes me anxious. I don't, whether it's my kids, my relationships, what I do, where we are, the governments, the work. There's nothing that makes me anxious anymore. And I'm like, why would I feel anxious? And then I'm like, that's not anxious. It's excitement.
Yeah, yeah. But but we don't know how to like stay excited because we're like, oh, is this sustainable? Can I stay in this feeling? So now we start like you said, perceiving it as what is this? Why am I feeling this? What? Because I realized yesterday when I'm super excited, I don't breathe like a little kid that just got like. But it's like, bro, relax. It's okay. You can still be excited, but just breathe now. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like under excitement or under fear and panic, people hold their breath.
Yeah.
Like I used to do that when I'm under a lot of stress, trying to get something done, fear,
Yep.
panic. And then
Yep.
I haven't breathed in a minute and a half, 2 minutes sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So here's Michelle Camper. She's another Gemini. Maybe you get anxious around too many Gemini, she said.
That's true.
She's a
Too
Gemini
excited.
too. She's a
Yeah.
22-degree Gemini. So she's like Gemini wizard
Yeah.
transformation. This is actually a bit. Cynthia wants to say hi.
Oh, I do? Well, I'm not prepared to say nothing. I love him. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, I want to, every time that this happens, I really want to like reiterate what Human Garage has done for me. Like, obviously it's based in breath, but it's like, so right now I started the 28 day again and I'm day 12. And every time I do it, it's like profound awareness. Like I'm learning things that I'm like, oh, that's why this is like it's like literally I'm here and then I do human garage, then I get to here. And then the more I just keep learning and understand, because it's breath, it's based in breath. Now it's just torquing your body, pressurizing it, releasing valves. So it's I'm blown away every time. Like every day I'm like, how did this, like I just released and let go of, I don't know what. So thank you guys.
I just appreciate you. You've been around since I can remember. Just kind of quiet in the background, and a long time ago, you'd just be there like this, just solid presence in a good around, and
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
appreciate your energy.
You
all
came
the
into our
time.
lives right when we had already built the maneuvers, but when we were starting to bring them out and build the systems that help people, because once you start doing maneuvers, you're gonna want to know how to deal with the stuff that comes up. That's what the whole lifestyle artist program was.
Yeah.
It's been fun to just watch you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys, because I definitely wouldn't be in the place that I am without discovering through Jason. And you know what I mean? Just like, the way I feel, it's like everybody has their mission. Now, how do we unite the team of the greater mission? You know what I mean? Like, your guys' mission is to change 1 billion people's lives. You know, my mission is to inspire 10 million people to breathe. And that might go up based on, you know what I mean? So it's just like every person is learning how to team up with the people that are actually in support of them. And I really appreciate you guys for supporting.
Well, I mean, that's why I was saying this the other day. That's why I don't interview with talking heads. I mean, with all respect to the people.
The band?
No, talking heads or the people that are in the industry that have, millions of people following. It's like I can do a podcast with anybody.
Yeah.
But I've chosen to give our media time to everybody like you who's rising up, because I believe we're ushering in a new generation here.
100%.
And
new generation for sure.
And it's like when we want to, like, if we wanted to commercialize our platform, it's pretty easy. You get $12,000 to $20,000 for putting 3 things on our story. And but as soon as we do that, we take away the whole essence of the movement, which is we give that time to the people who are helping people.
Yeah. You guys are a power to the people movement, like a real revolutionary, like like a real, like that's how I see it. It's like a real revolutionary that's happening, whether people know it or not. It's giving people the power to heal themselves, and we've always had it, but you're making it very clear and obvious. Look at before, look at after.
Yeah.
Look at this person's story, look at after. I'm not saying I did anything, but just look. You tell me. It's like.
You did do something by just showing up with your presence.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think Jason found you on Clubhouse.
He did.
Correct.
Clubhouse, and then he goes, "You got to talk to this guy. He's awesome." And I remember the first time I talked to you, where I was standing in the house.
Yeah, I remember the first time he showed me the view of your guys's. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
that looks so awesome. That looks incredible.
Well, we'll have to have you up here sometime.
Yeah. Sending you love and hugs.
If you haven't done it yet, you should jump into the LSA, the Lifestyle Artist, too.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just a deeper dive into the education, and in there's the community. So that's where, and that community is growing, and it's people that right now they're starting to do lives with each other, help each other, work, trade clients and stuff like that. So the idea was to build this network of people supporting people who support people.
That's awesome.
So are you open to do this a couple more times this month?
100%.
Okay, well let's put this on. We'll book this again for next Tuesday morning.
Cool. Let me ask you a couple questions. So obviously all the experience, all the maneuvers you've done with people, assisted, all these things, what is the thing that breath has taught you, like watching these miraculous things happen, like
or
feeling yourself?
So basically breath is a part of movement. Actually, the original movement is breath. That's what I was taught, because movement is life, and I've always said that. But I never really thought about breath being a movement, but that is the origin movement. And without the origin movement, breath, mechanically, our bones are piezoelectric. So they touch only on our rib cage, our teeth, and our ears. And when bones touch, they create a spark. So breath is involved in the spark of life. And that's why when a baby comes out and transitions to breathing from the mother, breath becomes their own power, but they're being powered by the mother until they take that first breath. The other part is that so breath is control of hormones, and hormones regulate our experience. Proteins are what keep us alive and make things happen, but hormones are what make those proteins dance. And either having them or lack of them. And basically, through breath and movement, you can articulate any hormone in the body. So like when I was talking about growing teeth back, I'm looking at all these technologies. Why? Not because I want to use them, because I want to figure out what the mechanism that they're using so that my body can get there, and it's going to get there through breath and movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And patience.
Yeah.
I was not born a patient person, and waiting and sitting in a breath for a long time, it's allowed me to understand myself. Because if I'm not patient, but I be patient with myself, then that gap is where the learning comes, and that's all from breath.
Yeah. Yeah. That's super profound. Because even adding to that, the way I see breath is, it's like it is the pause. So action, intention, our mind, action, there's a pause between intention to action. Obviously it is instantaneous, but what is the conductor, from I'm thinking thought to I just watch it happen.
So here's another one for you. As my fascia gets open, I do this for people. When I see you, you can do it. You can touch my arm like this, and when I breathe, you'll feel my arm or my leg expand. So if I sit in water, the way I fasted for 2 weeks without water is I would just get in water, and then when I'm thirsty, and my body would absorb it. But technically, around me is just a different version of water. So the lowest form of breath is in from the lungs only to oxygenate the inside of the body and then into the blood. But the higher form of breath is like a membrane. So when I breathe in the lungs, it goes, and then like a balloon, it goes pop, 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 pop. All the different layers of fascia, and then pop, 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 pop. And so that has changed. Like I do a lot of education with Ryan from Gravity Collective, and we're sitting, he's monitor your breath rate and like how we breathe in. I'm like, normally I'm between 2.5 and 3 breaths per minute if I'm sitting. And I didn't even realize I was doing that, because 8 to 10 is really good. Yeah. So the only way I can justify doing that is that I'm breathing through my skin and through my fascia now.
Yeah. So going off of that, I remember you said yesterday on the live, we're 75% water, 20% cilia.
Yeah, so 70% water, 25% silica. So that's basically sand. So we're water and sand, and we have all these bacteria and viruses and frequencies. If you've ever seen water under frequency and sand, it creates shapes. So we have the Schumann resonance, which is the basic shape of a human because we stand against it. And then we have all the other frequencies that we either participate in or allow. Like if I allow a lot of EMFs, I go like this. I torque and I whine. So eventually my body's going to torque and whine. I'm going to grow like that.
Yeah. So going off of that, 70% water. So how much, how much of that water is oxygen? Because obviously you need oxygen to create water.
Well, here's a funny stat that people don't think of is that we think of detoxing our body through sweat, through urine, and defecation. But 70% of our body's detox comes through oxygen, through exhale. Why? Because I'm breathing all the time. So what happens is I'm bringing toxins into the lungs, and then I bring air in, and that exchange with the alveoli are like grapes half filled with water, and it comes in, it circles, and then it goes out. So that's another interesting one, because I never would have thought of it. I would have, like, somebody when we're talking about drinking urine, they're like, "Is all your toxins going out through there?" And I'm like, actually, less than 5% of your toxins go through your urine. 70% goes through your mouth. So don't breathe on people then if you're scared of what the toxins are coming out.
Yeah. And why do you think information like this is not known or regulated? Is it because it's power control? If we know, you know what I mean? And like, what?
Well, if you wanted to, if you know, what is slavery? Okay, here's a good one. If I have to show my papers to drive a car, if I have to go get a license to get married, if I have to show my papers to leave or come into a country, or to get services, that's actually slavery. That's what we did as slaves. The slaves had to go and get permission to get married and have kids and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we do not live in a free society. We live in a very controlled slavery, and part of it is if you want to control a population, you control what they perceive, how they think, and what they say. You know, and like I mean, I still do, and I'm working my way out of it, is refer to things like a weekday. Because a weekday means my brain, my body, my consciousness, my reaction to the world. Words are important. Intentions are important. Weekday, that means I'm weak throughout that day.
Yeah. Weekend. You know,
is spelling, right? And like religion. It's a Roman word. To religion. To religion means to conscript and bring back into the army. And Rome never fell. Rome became the church. That's why it's the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's a different way of controlling people. And so we've been controlled through the ultimate control factor, the greatest teacher of the human experience is pain. We've been taught to fear pain, and if I fear something, it amplifies it. So it takes it out of context. If I have a level 2 pain in my body, and I have fear that that pain may get worse or cause something, that 2 goes to a 6 right now. So with the way that we set up things, they gave us a spreadsheet of how our body works. But, you know, think about the tenets of fascial maneuvers in human garage. The bones aren't structured. Like simple little things, like they give us this formula on how the body works, like a macro with all the formulas in. If you do this, you get this. If you do this, you get this. If you do this, you get this. And I don't disagree with the spreadsheet, like how all the formulas work. I disagree with the value we're using for square number 1, cell number 1, which is what is a human. Because our bones aren't structured, so something else has to be. Our assumption is, our findings are it's fascia. And food is not a fuel, because food uses 80% of our energy to digest, process, and eliminate it. So it can't be a fuel. That means if it takes 80% of my energy, then it could be a medication. It could be. But it's certainly not a fuel, because that'd be like me breaking my Prius all the way to a full battery. Doesn't work. Yeah. So there's these really big concepts in the world that we live in the science of the body. Like, for example, we have 2.2 million proteins. We can only identify 50,000, and we only know what 5,000 do. So how is it that we can say with 5,000, and proteins are what make us work? How can we
Yeah.
say that we even begin to know the body when we only know what 5,000 of 2.2 million are do? So we've been taught that we know or we understand the body, and we don't. And
Yeah.
just like an elephant, when they're baby, we tie a rope around them and we tie them to a stake. So when they're multiple tons, they can't move away because their brain.
Locked in their brain, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
I
The
mean,
reason why
it
yeah.
is interesting, isn't it?
The reason why I'm asking is because it's like most of the things that I've came to understand is through self-discovery. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh wait, how come this is, and then you
Okay,
breathe
so
into it.
let me give you one reframe on that. If you understand, you stand under. If you understand,
And in.
see how tricky words are, right?
Yeah. It's so funny because yesterday I literally was like, overstand or understand?
Yeah,
And
understand.
yeah. So yeah.
So yes, it's self-discovery because we were born here to experience. But if I tell you, and then that's an ocean there. If you've never seen an ocean,
It's an
and I
ocean.
tell you all about an ocean, have you ever swam in the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I tell everybody what an ocean is and how it's different than the lake, and I talk about it, I talk about the sea life and stuff like that, and all this, and I give them, well, the ocean is cold, it's salty, it may hurt your eyes, and all this. Then they get in the water and they don't want to open their eyes because it might get hurt. So we can script the experience, and then you can't experience past me, or you are afraid to. So that's why we tell people when they ask about fascial maneuvers, it's like, try it. Why do we do it one way? Try it the other way. Let us know what happens. Because they have to have, especially if you have a curiosity and you don't follow that curiosity and you take my word for it, you become dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the authority. It's the whole, yeah. It's the, I'm the authority. You do this way. It's no different than a military. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 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 a tricky, slippery slope that's coming unwound over the next 9 months is the zit of the human species and the planet Earth coming to the head. We're at the whitehead stage, and it's going to pop. Then after that, then all the realizations of why that zit was there. This is what's happening over the next 2 years.
Incredible.
Yeah, what a time to live. It's like, it's going to be painful for people. The people that are going to have pain, like I'm having physical stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
And I am in a really good spot, and I have things that are going, but people are having either physical, emotional, or perceptual pains right now. My pain is like a two, and it gives me an idea to go over here. But I'm watching people right now having all kinds of issues in their body, in their lives, and their emotions, like too crazy. And for the next 7 weeks, it's going to be insane for people. I mean, flipping insane. And it's going to
Yeah.
continue to get worse. And then for 3 months, it's going to be in their communities. The world is changing right now. And people who are negotiating with the price of that change, they're still putting chemicals in their body because we're being taught we are spirit. And if we are disrespecting our spirit, nah, it's okay. I did like that. It's just McDonald's, or it's just that, or it's just this chemical. Or worse yet, they're still harboring anger, fears, resentments, and stuff like that. And they're not facing them. That is going to be torn out of people like ripping Velcro off from the inside. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not even crazy, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? It's like this is the manifestation of ignorance. You know what I mean? Like, if you ignore what we know to be is true, what do you expect? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm just like, if you're not practicing breathing, the thing that you need to stay alive, to sustain life, it's gonna be challenging. You're gonna go through hardships.
Right.
You know?
And this is why the breath work is so important right now, because it will give people, the breath is the space between the action and the reaction. And the reaction can be painful or the reaction can be smooth. And breath work allows us to get into that spot where it's smooth.
Yeah.
And oxygen is a lubricant for the biomechanics of the body. But oxygen needs carbon dioxide. Oxygen is the package. Carbon dioxide is the label on that package. And if the package doesn't have a label, it goes right by the tissue that needs it. And carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged in lungs. Like when you blow all of your air out, hold your breath, your CO2 starts to go up. People forget that we used to use CO2 as an anesthesia for surgery 100 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot that we don't know about the human body and how it works. And we are rediscovering this right now.
Yeah. Because even saying what you just said, for me, the basis is the exhale is more important than the inhale. Because the exhale is letting go. If you let go, you automatically can breathe more air.
Yes. It's the letting go. It's the letting. You're right. It's the inhale is the holding on.
That's sympathetic.
I have to hold on to something for a second, but as I let go, it's like in working out, the concentric action is important, but the eccentric action is 7 times more important according to the way we regulate the brain.
Yeah.
Waiting to exhale.
Yeah. Focus on your exhales. Extend your exhales. Your life will be better.
So I have somebody else coming up. It's awesome. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you so much. We'll be tagging this with you, collaborating with you. You can put it up on your wall. And I think this one deserves a couple cutouts, so we'll send it into editing.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Peace.
So this is Stacey with the one that did the organ reset. She did the healing with the organ reset.
Yeah. 1 second. Hey guys, just hold on 1 second. Take a deep breath. Yeah, go to Breath Messiah. Yeah, Breath Messiah. Just go to social media, Breath Messiah. Hey Marcus, how you doing?
Oh.
Okay. What's her name again?
Nick.
We're just waiting for a guest to come up here. Guys, got that on social media? Yeah. Thank you, Rhoda, for putting it up.
346 Nixon.
Okay. Well, let me try and get her then. Stacey Nixon Clark. Okay, I just sent her. I'm just sending an invite out. March 4th, Pisces.
There she is. Hi, Cynthia.
I wandered from the kitchen this way thinking, who's that?
And you're born under a Sagittarius moon.
I felt you.
Yes.
And it's a Sagittarius moon.
New moon today in Sagittarius. Yes.
Okay. So what are the fishes manifesting today?
Well, I've been manifesting, wanting to meet you guys and tell you in person how much I appreciate everything you do. And I came to Joshua Tree to do that, and I was graced. I got to see Cynthia. I sent a picture to you. I've been trying to send you that picture for a while, and I can't, for some reason, get on your account. But Gary, you did get that, didn't you? The picture of
Yeah, I got
Cynthia?
the picture. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't
So,
send it to her though, but I could. Yeah.
oh, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was just so thankful that I got to talk with her. And
Did
that's
you do
really what I
Fascial
wanted.
from Kentucky to Joshua Tree?
Absolutely. That's the only reason I went. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes. I
fantastic.
had credit for a ticket, you guys. I got it. I found out you were going to be there and I went. So I gave a couple days notice to people and I was gone. I was
What do you
very, very happy.
What do you do in Kentucky?
Oh, I've been a certified personal trainer and a licensed massage therapist for 28 years.
Okay, a long time. So
Yes, yes.
what?
I work with the human body a lot.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
how did you find us and what drew you to us?
I'll tell you exactly how I found you. I had multiple organ failure in March of 21, and I was very, very ill. I mean, got on the transplant list, and I was so ill, I was in a hospital bed for a long time. Didn't drive for most of that year. I found you on TikTok, of all places. I don't even know how I received a TikTok account. I did not set it up. One day I had the icon on my phone and I pushed it. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is TikTok. I've heard about this, but you guys didn't do the dancing. And I'm like, this is what I'm into. Wow. I'm telling you, it was just some kind of miracle, the grace of God. That's how I found you. And I kept seeing Cynthia in the background. I was like, she's just the sweetest angel. I can't wait. It just motivated me. You guys just motivated me. And then you actually started talking about organs. And I was like, I was just motivated because I couldn't move because I was literally bedridden for months. And I could go to the bathroom and back, and that was all I could manage. But I was doing the maneuvers in bed, and it was giving me hope. And I was just so wow. I don't want to get too emotional. I'll have to start talking really fast or cry. So I'm trying to stay grounded right now. I'm literally grounding right now. I've got my shoes on. So that's why I'm outside. I needed to ground. So my organ, I was on for kidney and liver. I had a girlfriend that was going to give me the kidney, and I actually had my very best dear friend, a male. He was going to give me part of his liver. No, he didn't have a problem with that. That is such a big deal. I thought,
Wow.
no. I mean, thank you guys, thank you, but I don't want you to have to go through that. So I did get on the list, and honestly, that was a blessing, I guess, because I know there are people that still are trying to get on the list, and they're not, and that's a whole nother thing. But I didn't want them to go through that. So I got on the list. And then when I started going to my appointments at the clinic, transplant clinic, oh my gosh, I'm looking around and I'm seeing people that are green. And I was a little shade of yellow. I wasn't totally green, but oh my goodness. And they were all in wheelchairs and barely could move. And I thought, they are just all sitting around here waiting to die. I'm not going to do that. And I'm telling you, Human Garage was such a huge part of my recovery. I got off the transplant list in 2022, March, 1 year later, 323. So 323 is when I went on, and 323 is when I got off. Yes, I know, Cynthia. Thank you. I feel her. I love you. Oh, anyway. Yes.
So you
So,
were on the transplant list for a kidney and for a liver. You had
yep.
donors,
Yes. Yes.
and and what do you think that led to that?
Oh, what I think. Well, the liver was compromised from when I was 18, my first year in my dental program. They made us take a hepatitis vaccine. So out of 40 girls that were in my program, 2 of us got sent to the ER with very bad reactions from the first shot. So that was compromised my liver from 18 years old. So I always knew I needed to be careful. Then I had my father pass away, and I took Valium for a few years, 2 or 3 years after that. And then I knew that wasn't good, but I really wanted to not feel as much, you know. So then I got okay with that. I had a helicopter crash too. I don't, and more pain pills, drugs. I crushed a lot of bones in my body. So I was on pain pills for that, for months out of this particular year. And I got off those. That was a hard one. My body just really liked those, and I was in a lot of pain, so that's the only reason I took them. But so when my little baby brother died, April 27th of 2020, that's when I went back on all those drugs, and not just Klonopin and Valium. And for 11 months, I'm not going to lie, I had a couple glasses of wine at night, big ones, and along with those pills. And it took 11 months for me to finally just, my body said, no more. We can't do it anymore. So that's how that, not proud of that, but it's been
No, it's
lost.
part of your part of your
I
story.
don't, yeah, it really is. It's I don't deal with loss very well. It's that Pisces, empathy. We feel, don't we, Cynthia? We feel so hard, so deeply. So,
Well,
yeah.
she's been going through fear and anger, and it
Oh,
metastasized in her leg, and she's been processing it out even just as of recently. So you
good.
guys are going through the same the same
Keep an eye on her
emotions,
liver.
just coming out in
Anger.
a different way. Yeah,
Yes.
and it's right
Well,
now.
I'm
It's in
sure
her
she.
liver meridian in her leg, and and of course into the bladder meridian, um, which is fear, which is kidney, bladder, and kidney.
Yes. I know. I know. I know. I know all too well.
So
And
I want to ask because there's no accidents, and
I know.
she's going through things right now in her emotional set, the processes. So what have you been going through
Um.
in this last year since you started?
Oh, well, just this particular. I'm getting crooked. Okay, sorry. Okay. Um. This is, I know, I'm sorry. This is my 20-year anniversary of said helicopter crash, where I crushed my rib cage and broke my spine and had a lot of injuries. So I really wanted this to be a big year. I think I'm reliving a lot of those emotions, but I've had to process a lot of that. But no, all of this before was just loss from the men, from my dad and my baby brother, and
Yeah. So let me ask you something. What
yes.
happened 30 years ago?
30 years ago. Oh my gosh. You guys are just going to think I'm a walking follow-up problems. 30 years ago, 1993 was when I got diagnosed with MS. That was the first time I was told you're going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life at one point. That
Okay.
was the first time. The
So
second time was, so that was
that's
happened 30
fear.
years.
Yeah, it's fear and anger.
Yes, yes. Oh gosh, yes.
So
Fear, absolutely. Oh, yes.
so
Yes.
the reason why I ask is because it's auspicious that you're calling right now when she's dealing with a 30 years of karmic Saturn return cycle.
It is.
And she's going through it right now.
Oh boy. I feel for you, Cynthia. I do. Guys, I was meant to meet you guys. I really was. I know that.
What's your express?
You've helped me. You gave my mobility back. I thought I've done so much and I knew so much, but I thought I was going to lose my ability to move again. Even if my organs got situated, I wasn't sure. I mean, there was just so much I can thank you for. I just cannot. I'll melt down if I really get into it deep. I'll try
So
not to.
I feel you.
so you were
Okay, thanks.
so you were a year ago, you were doing the maneuvers in the bed, the organ reset. You're on a transplant list,
Yes.
and you're waiting to have this transplant. Were you doing anything else, or were you just doing fascial maneuvers? And
Oh gosh. I went back to when in 93 after I switched doctors because the first doctor was just like all doomsday and you're just going to be in a wheelchair and you better have kids right now if you ever want to have them because you'll never be able to. I mean, it was just fear, like you said, just a lot of stress and fear. I went to a different doctor and oh my gosh, that is still one of the most important things in my life that I'll never forget this man. He told me, you might have some symptoms, but we're not going to let you get MS. You're not going to be in a wheelchair. We're not going to let it have you. We are going to do IV therapy. You're going to juice. You're going to do, I mean, get rid of sugar, get rid of added food additives, all this. That's when it started. So I had a big education. I knew what to do. I knew this man taught me very well. He was really holistic for an MD, and I've been holistic ever since. I just live, breathe, everything, live it, just love it. But I juice and I do lemon juice in the mornings. I do the CMOS. I've got your supplements now, the Fascial supplements, the diatomaceous. Or I do all of that. But I was doing a lot of that before, but now I'm back on track. I just quit for 11 months after my baby brother passed. I didn't get any IV therapy. I didn't juice. I kind of lived like a normal person, but I knew I couldn't really live like a normal person because I've got a lot of bad circumstances. Well, the diagnoses. Okay. So anyway, that's, I don't even know, but the original question was what
So,
else do I do? There's just so
so
much.
so at what point you started doing the fascial maneuvers? You found us somehow
Yes.
as a
Yes.
Pisces. You just,
TikTok.
yeah, TikTok. You didn't even have it. It shows up.
No.
You start doing fascial maneuvers. You start. At
In
what
bed.
point did you say, okay, I no longer need to be on the transplant list?
I had a feeling around Christmas of that year in 21. Then I went to my original doctor here in town that put me on the transplant list in January. He said, your labs are looking so incredible. I doubt you're going to get off the list. He said, you're not going to get off. They're going to kick you off. And I'm like, yes, great. But they made me wait till March. But that was okay because I just kept doing what I was doing. And then knowing what he said, I mean, I knew my labs were so turned around in a great, amazing way. That
So
just really,
did you have a sense that you weren't going to need to, you had a sense inside that you weren't going to need to have the transplant? And
absolutely 100%.
so
Yes.
what did that feel like emotionally though?
Oh my gosh. I just felt, well, I didn't want to do that to my friends. I just couldn't put them through horrible surgeries like that. I just couldn't. So I did it for them. I couldn't die. I couldn't have my mom lose another child because she had lost a baby before they had me. That's why they had me. So she lost a baby boy when he was 2. Then they tried and they didn't think they were going to have a baby and they had me. But I just knew I had to stick around. I just knew I had to stay here on this earth. I still had good work to do. So this is a beginning, even more of a beginning. I treat people that have bad circumstances, health problems. I'm more of a medical massage therapist
Yeah.
than just a foo-foo. I don't do foo-foo at all. I work with people that are really terminally ill, cancer, transplant people now that I know everything I know. So yeah, I'm mentally, I just became really strong, and I remembered what my doctor told me in '93 when when everyone was telling me, oh, this is gloom doom, you're never going to have kids, you're going to be in a wheelchair, blah blah. Oh, and by the way, that doctor is a doppelganger to you,
Yeah.
Garry.
The one that
Not
helped
kidding.
you?
Yes. Yes. Only he would be maybe what you'll look like in 20 years. He was older, but I saw him cure himself of Parkinson's. The first time I met him, his head was bobbing and shaking so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trusting him but I watched him cure himself. I mean, this man was amazing. I
Is he
cannot tell you.
still alive?
No, he's not. He finally passed.
Hey,
But wow,
go to
if
his
anyone
obituary
was,
and find out his birthday for me.
I will. I don't. I will. I will.
Yeah.
I will find that out.
I'm
I
curious.
know how.
Curious because I believe
That is a good.
I believe I'm just aligning myself to an energy. That's why my face and my body and everything is changing.
It's
'Cause I'm
changing. I know. I've noticed. I've watched.
so
Yes, it's crazy in a great
so,
way.
so Cynthia is going through it. I feel. I mean, I don't know what you feel, but I feel that there's like. I mean, it's been the last couple of days in particular.
The last week, actually. Actually, the last couple of weeks.
What have you guys been feeling? I mean, I've been on top of the world for what seems like a long, long time, but last few days I've been odd. I don't know. I don't know how to really. And I was so excited to get to do this with you, but I don't know what. But my older brother had a massive heart attack on Friday night, so that obviously had me off track too this weekend. He's getting better. He's it's all good, so he's okay. But I'm sorry. Sometimes I talk too much,
No,
guys.
you're not at all.
Not at all.
For sure.
It's
Magic only happens once in a lifetime. There's some magic.
so I am on a 30-year cycle of a trauma.
What happened?
So
It's
30 years ago, I had a large blood clot in my right leg.
oh wow. Oh,
And
Liver,
mhm.
kidney, and bladder.
you're,
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
mhm.
Oh my.
But since I left, so the last 2 weeks, it has come back
Oh
in
Lord, I'm.
a different
Oh,
It's not a
form.
blood clot. It's the pressure and the
Mhm.
pain that was cut out. So there was a blood, taking it out wasn't the answer.
Well, they took all the veins
oh,
out, right? Like there's no vein there, but the symptoms
right.
are there and the pain is there, but the emotion
Oh,
underlying
So what
it,
was it?
the emotion is anger and resentment
yes. Oh,
and my relationships with especially men, my mother and my dad. And
I'm sorry.
it's been, well, no, it's a healing. And so I know I'm in the healing mode, but sometimes
Good.
that darkness needs to
Oh
come.
gosh.
Mhm. Yeah. And so
And
I
we
treat,
feel harsh.
yeah. So long that I've had several times in Costa Rica, I had an incident that put me down for a couple of days. And I had a healing growth through that and and realization. But it takes those moments of being at rock bottom to then allow us to come to center again and then come out the other side.
Yes.
Those rock bottom moments for me are the times where then I have large reflections back, or I create a scenario or a situation where where I'm forced to claw my way out.
Yes.
But on the other side is the golden light, is the place
Yeah.
where our growth is, and then that up levels us, and then we go up from there.
So
So I'm
she's
in the process. I'm still down in the trenches,
Yes.
and things still come up, but I'm recognizing it faster, and I'm
Good.
having more reflection back, and I'm allowed
Good.
more reflection back. But the physical then will release when the emotions and my perceptions and my perspectives switch.
so this is
A
also
lot.
it's a Sagittarius moon,
Mm.
and it seems like Pisces and Sagittarius are working their stuff out, the energies. Because Cynthia also is, and you guys share the same birthday in astrology as my sister's best friend. Call her my stepsister who raised me. It's the same birthday as Cynthia,
Oh
and
my.
I
Wow.
didn't even realize that when we got together.
It's almost
Oh
like
my
a
God.
stepmom.
And they
Very,
even
very
they
close.
even look alike.
Yes, we do.
Oh, here we go.
So
Wow.
so this, talking about the karma, because as she's going through this, her way of dealing with the anger has also been bringing up anger in me and
Oh,
and frustration in me at an extreme level.
oh my.
Yes.
That's got to be wild to work with right now. With
Well,
everything else you're going.
Well,
You need
you're
it
here
in
you're
order to
here
come up.
you're here as a Pisces with Sagittarius and a Sagittarius born on a Sagittarius moon. You're here for a reason, irrespective. I may never know the true reason why you're here today, but of all the days you could have picked, today's the day, and today is a step 20 day in Sagittarius, which is to protect our feelings,
Okay.
and to bring community back into ourselves. So
Oh, yes.
yeah, and we're in a Sagittarius moon,
Yes.
which amplifies it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So might be a tricky day, but I really wanted to be here.
Yeah,
it's
it's
perfect.
perfect. Yeah,
It's
it's
perfect.
perfect, and she's not always hanging around here either, too.
No, I would literally,
Oh,
I actually felt drawn to hear, and then I thought I heard your voice because
oh my gosh.
and I thought, oh, and I thought I think she's
Oh,
sees, so I peeked around to see, and then he pulled me in.
Oh, thank you.
And I do.
Thank you, universe. Thank you.
And you came all the way to Joshua
Joshua
Tree.
Tree.
I
So
did. I did. Cynthia was like
that's
from
actually
Kentucky.
where, that's actually where,
That's
if
it.
you were to look back, that's when you guys hugged in Joshua Tree. That's where this started to heal.
Our
So your healing
connection.
was passing to
I
her.
feel that.
She needed the healing. And if you've gone through it, if the same energy goes through it, I resonate with that frequency and I take that into me, whether it's excitement, whether it's anger, whether it's healing.
When I pulled up, and I was late getting there, I had a lot of trouble. A totally different story. Someone came out and they said, "Oh, he's already packed up. It's already over." And I said, "I don't care. I'm right where I need to be. I've always wanted to be here." And I walked right through thinking everything was over, but I saw some people still, and I thought, that's okay. I want to be around these people that have this energy right now. And it was like the sea parted and there was Cynthia. And I was like, it's just amazing. It was perfect. So by the time I got up to you, Cynthia, the guy that I handed my phone to take a picture, he accidentally took a video, started the video. And I was so overwhelmed about it all, and just being that close and getting ready to talk to Cynthia and just getting this picture, that I got kind of dizzy, and she steadied me and said, "I got you." And I was like, oh my gosh.
I remember.
And yes, so she was helping me, but I felt her. I knew I wanted to have that exchange of Pisces energy, good feminine Pisces energy. I just really did, and I knew it would be great, but I didn't know it would be this amazing. Oh.
Well, I mean, this goes to why, like when people are out there and they're watching this, they're being called to be around. This is why we have an event like that coming up on the 16th. I know that
I want
a lot of people that are sitting there saying, is this something I should go to or not? It's on
yes,
the way. There's a reason why that pull is there. And if you follow the reason, you get the
blessing.
blessing.
yes, 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 yes. I'm living proof of that right now. So yes,
Oh, that's
yeah.
fab.
I would be in Canada this on the 16th if I could. I don't. My passport still has not come in. I don't know how long it takes now to get this, but I did it 2 or 3 months ago.
It is what it is.
Let it
And
unfold.
it'll unfold. I mean, the magic is already here. It's not
Yes,
physical proximity, but
yes, true.
but work your way into the lifestyle artist program.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because I have a feeling you two. I have a feeling this isn't the finish. This is just the starting of something.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Me too. Thank you for saying that. That's perfect. That would be great. That's all I want, really. Actually, I've got I've got so much I could say, but I just don't want to hijack the conversation. I'm already so blessed right now. This has just been a perfect day. Wow. Thank you guys. I just cannot tell you. Like I said, hospital bed, transplant list. Didn't even know if I would be able to train people again. I mean, that's my passion, and massage and work on people. I'm not supposed to be sick. That's what I take care of people. I'm the caretaker. So, but I'm able to do that again. And oh my gosh, my life is back. So I just can't say enough good about you guys.
It's a 20-degree Sagittarius today, which is the Grandmaster Caretaker Day too.
I don't know what that means. What does the Grandmaster mean? I keep missing that
It's
part.
the highest level of Caretaker Day in Sagittarius
Oh,
right now.
okay. Well, I'm really in my element then today. I
Yeah,
really hope.
you guys are hitting all the buttons today.
Yeah, our
Wow.
work are showing up perfectly for us today. So.
Yes, yes. Guardian angels, thank you. The universe, God, everyone. I'm so glad you heard my voice, Cynthia. I was hoping I would get to talk to you today.
Perfect.
No
Okay.
offense, Gary. You're okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm glad you came on.
I'm glad it's working okay. My volume has been wonky all morning. I thought, oh no, why today? But
No, perfect.
yes, thank you guys. Thank you again.
Okay, we'll
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
see you soon. I'm also send you out some supplements to help you out there too.
Yeah.
So
Oh my,
do me a
I'm still
favor,
paying
send
on
another
hospital bills,
message
so
in
thank
just
you.
saying you're on the live today. That'll just remind us so we don't forget. We'll get them on. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. So much.
We'll talk soon. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Wow, that's a story.
Can't make that up.
Can't make that up at all.
Yeah, that has some healing effect for me for sure. Mhm.
Yeah. We were just talking about it this morning.
We were literally talking about that this morning.
Yeah. Like literally before live, we're sitting over here. We're talking about what this looks like. What does this healing look like? Why is it still here?
Now we know.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a process. It's always a journey, and there's always ups and downs, dark and light. But it always turns out just the way it's supposed to.
Well, you didn't have to be on the transplant list to get this lesson. She did that for you. So she that hug probably took you off some transplant list somewhere.
I felt there was some energy at a big stage there. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pop off. Appreciate Mom. Bye.
Whoa, that was powerful.
I have to go cry.
Yeah. Becca. Varicose veins. Becca.
Hi, Gary.
Wow, another person who came off of
Is that
a
our Becca?
transplant list here.
Becca?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, Cynthia.
look at you.
That's
Haven't seen you in a while.
That's amazing. So
I
for
know.
people who don't know you, your
Nice.
birthday is September what?
August 28th. My
Oh,
husband's
August
in
28th.
September.
Oh yeah, you're a baby Virgo. Baby
Yeah.
Virgo.
Yeah.
How are you? How's everything going?
Oh, it's
Tell us.
going.
Or tell
I
him.
had a really big release last Friday, like childhood anger release. And it I felt it rise up through my body. And I have chest constrictions off and on from that, which is interesting because it's like the rage I feel that's trying to come out. And I
And to
actually,
put things in perspective, they actually had you on a watch to have a heart transplant,
That's right.
right?
if things got worse,
Yeah. So I
they
mean, that was
wanted
what we
to.
were talking about a year ago.
A year ago when we were in Sacramento
Yeah.
at Mark Bell podcast.
A year ago, almost.
Because you were with us.
Almost a year ago, yeah. Almost a year ago, we were talking about that. And the reason I'm bringing that up is that's another transplant. I was just talking to the lady about being on a transplant list and then getting off. And you were able to work yourself off. You're dealing with other stuff. So you had this big release of anger come up, which is the topic of the morning here.
Yeah, it seems to be.
What did that look like for you, Becca?
Pardon?
What did that look like for you with the anger release?
I was actually sitting in therapy, and I've been going to weekly therapy sessions, and we've been going through my childhood, like memories, things I don't remember anymore. And what it looked like was the fact that the themes that were coming up were about work and what my parents and generationally before that believed the definition of work is where you can't have fun, you have to work really really hard every single day, you need to sacrifice, and so there's a lot of resentment and anger that is coming up from that, because some of that got translated with my own experience in the working world. And so it was like this surge of like energy that was just coming up from like my gut, it felt like, and it came up and I wanted to I don't know if like roaring makes sense, but I wanted to spew out like the Hulk does. So yeah.
That's what I
Yeah, it's like, ah!
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And ever since that session, it was interesting. I have been feeling like constriction right here in the middle. And I've been doing the upper body reset because I was like, okay, I'm going to get this and release it and release it. And it releases it enough where I am able to go to sleep and lay down and be okay. Sometimes when I turn, I feel that constriction and pressure, but it
Are you
depends on
feeling it
how
right now?
relaxed. Huh?
Are you feeling it right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's do something really quickly with the breathing, and I just want to see.
Well, before you do the breathing, what was the emotion like that came up inside you when the anger wanted to come out? Did it have a lot of sadness and with it?
A lot of, yeah, sadness, resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah, resentment's a huge, huge one.
hmm So for me, I have this similar work ethic in all of the family lineage. And so there is resentment around a lot of that. And so that last week I felt a lot of generational sadness, which then tweaks in me and comes out as anger.
Oh,
And yours is
I
in the
like that
chest,
perspective.
mine is in my right leg. But so it's going to come out someplace like that. But that's how it felt to you, was that sadness also.
Yeah. And it was interesting because my the doctors wanted me to go in because they were concerned that um, they wanted to know there was no pulmonary embolism because of the lupus. And so Sunday night, I went to the ER and they ran all these tests. Everything was fine: x ray, CT scan, EKG, blood work. And they did a dye to make sure like they could see if any of my vessels were anything was going on, and it was fine. Only one was like slightly elevated, like one of the labs, but other than that it's fine. Like my body knew that, but I feel like my mind I was resisting too. I was like, I don't want to go in, but I just went in just to.
Have you put together the emotion and the physical reaction in the body? Like, so when you clear up the anger, the sadness, and the resentment, then the body loosens and flows more freely. Has that come to you in a perception?
um Some of it, but I feel like there's not a clear connection.
Let's
So,
let's move through this
There's your
right now.
segue.
Now let's move through this right now, and see, because usually if there's not a clear, if it's not clear, it's usually because there's still something holding on in the body. So let's do a chest opener, a heart opener. So grabbing this of the sternum, pulling it out as hard as you can. Body where it's tight, pushing up through your chest. Like really, really grab, push up to your chest and breathe. Move, and you can squat a little bit. Put your chin out. So you feel it stretching in that area. Okay, go higher. Wherever you feel the tightness, pull it apart. Really pull it. Get your hands down there like you're ripping it, pulling it apart. Breathe. Chin up. And that did something for me. It's no accident because I'm dealing with my own process, working through my own process with Cynthia as her anger, rage comes up. It takes a lot to get me to be there, but if she's there long enough and I stay around long enough, she'll get me there. It's like I remember it's for me. It's like my little brother used to, when we were kids, used to bug me until I would finally flip out and then hit him or take him. Then he'd cry, and then I'd get in shit. That was the way it went down all the time. And he's an Aries, and I'm an Aries ego, so Aries rising. But I got all this Virgo in me, so it's very, very pointed that you're calling right now. So take your right hand on your heart, left hand on your head. Breathe into your mouth. 2, 3. I'm opening up my heart to bring compassion in.
I'm opening up my heart to bring compassion in.
So I let anger and sadness transmute.
So I let anger and sadness transmute.
Breathe in through your nose to your head. 2, 3. I'm ready to tell a new story about my life,
I'm ready to tell a new story about my life,
about my work.
about my work.
I can be happy even when I'm working
I can be happy even when I'm working
by paying attention to my heart.
by paying attention to my heart.
Breathe in through your mouth. 2, 3. I'm ready to follow the joy in my heart
I'm ready to follow the journey of my heart
and find joy.
and find joy.
Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3. I'm letting go of anything that doesn't serve me now.
I'm letting go of anything that doesn't serve me now.
Well, so I guess you're calling to check up on the big Virgo and help me today.
Yeah. I've been wanting to talk to you, and it felt like every time like you had guest speakers or something, or the timing wasn't right, I had to like hop on to a meeting. So, because when you're talking, I forget who it was, she was talking about her teeth. I'm going through stuff with my teeth as well. Like they're saying there's like cavities, and wanting to pull out my wisdom teeth, the three remaining. They pulled out the one, the two here, the wisdom tooth and the one right next to it,
Is that on your left side?
right side.
Oh, right side. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I personally believe that that we're going to go through a little bit of a tooth crisis until, because there's something about this journey that like there's something bigger about the teeth that I'm not I'm on, I feel like I'm on the edge of something. And for me, I've been not doing anything. I'm not telling other people to do it. This is my story. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally letting the teeth that started a year and a half ago, letting them literally fall out. But what's been coming to me is all this information, this new tooth regrowing drug that came from Japan. It's now in the United States. It's being used in the United States. The FDA cleared it. There's these frequency devices that have been buried in 2006. There's one that was actually talked about on the news right where literally where I grew up. And the university had discovered it, and it would regrow a tooth within 30 days. And it just disappeared. So there's something more to this story. And I know that's why I'm going through it. And I know that the answer in going through this is going to help a lot of other people.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely, I'm finding that I'm going through a similar pattern as you, because I've been showing up to listen to your lives when I can. And the themes are very, like, just parallel to what you're going through.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, getting to meet you a year and a half ago in
yeah.
person, I can see today I see myself in every person. And when I'm working with somebody or talking to somebody, I see you as a reflection showing me something about me right now.
Mhm.
And so I listen to your story and what's going on. And I'm like, there's a part of me that's you. And that's what you're speaking to today, and that's what we're working on together. But you're helping me bring it up. I mean,
Yeah.
right from the first day, I still laugh about it. Yeah, I got this finger issue. I'm like, oh, I just pull the finger to this, and then you sent me a picture. I'm like, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
gangrene.
I know. I just can't believe it's interesting because like right now I've been more active, making sure I move my body more, doing more yoga. Um, my toes seem to have now started changing colors and being impacted by the cold. So I know there's some story or some generational pattern that I haven't hit on because I've been in contact with my parents more, noticing like what they're saying when I'm around them. A lot of it is around like, oh, it's cold. You need to bundle up. It's cold.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you're being shown the generational patterns right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It is.
the cool part is that you're connecting the dots. Because if I connect the dot, my body's just trying. We think our bodies are sick or broken, but they're not. They're trying to communicate to us, and they try to talk to us through little things, and then eventually it's like, okay, listen, you're not listening. I'm gonna like completely shut down. You can't use that leg. Now figure it out. You hear me? That's what our bodies are doing. We're not sick. Disease is that we're just not at ease. And if we're there long enough, then it starts to impact our quality of life and health. But the whole point of that is the body can miraculously cure itself. And you know what's crazy? Do you know that the amount of spontaneous healings that happen that are documented by medicine but never talked about, it's actually large. It's in the 15 to 18% range of people that just have cancer that's gone away one day. And they're like, it's a miracle. And I'm like, it's a miracle, but it's not a miracle. There's something that happened that can be learned and reproduced. It's not like we're not a victim of being sick and a victim of having a miracle.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I keep telling my doctors, people around me. It's that you have to focus like where the imbalance is. Where are you putting too much emphasis in? There's a lot of different things. And so it's your own internal journey that you have. And that's why journaling is so important. And like, I haven't tried this technique yet, but my therapist recommended, have you heard of two-hand journaling?
Yeah,
Like,
actually,
yeah.
we were talking about the other day. We have somebody who actually does it simultaneously, writes a
Oh,
sentence backwards, right to meet in the center. I
wow.
mean, like we're talking somebody who's like at a epic level of doing it. But yes, because there's 10 fingers, and each finger represents a planet, a number, and an emotion and an organ. And we have 10 toes. We have 10 organs inside of our body, our fascia, our skin, the container. So cursive writing, the reason why we took cursive writing out and made printing is because cursive writing is actually working the emotions. It's the dance of the fingers. And once we started doing this, we lost a very big component in emotional processing. That's why when I work with MS and Parkinson's and dementia, I just work on their hands and they get their thought process and cognitive abilities back. That's why the finger release is so important, right?
Yeah.
And journaling is the expression with two hands. So yeah, it's super important.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I'm at now. I put in a picture in the community. I heard you say that you're changing platforms again, but I did an updated picture of my face from the very beginning versus just the other day on Saturday. So
Hey, you want to
it's
put it on Instagram too? Tag me, please.
okay. I can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting into the new one right now.
Okay.
It's we what we want. We were trying to bring everything together because like we've been overwhelmed with communication, like, and we have tools that help us answer and weed out communications because I get a lot of people ask me like, how do I get rid of my lower back pain? And that I can have like
Yeah.
100 of those questions in my Instagram. And in the app, I can get thousands of questions. So we're getting it to a place where we can, like right now, where we have tools that can answer all of the run-of-the-mill questions so that I can actually get these messages.
Yeah, that sounds good. I actually do have to run, but
Okay,
hopefully, yeah, we can catch up again.
we
But it
will
was
soon.
so
Sure,
good.
send me a message. You have my information. You can talk to me
Yeah.
directly.
Okay, that sounds good.
Hey,
Thanks,
Becca.
Garry.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, I want to wrap up here. I want to thank the team at BioOptimizers for the Ultimate Nutrition Bible. When we got the Ultimate Nutrition Bible, it comes with a fork, a knife, and a spoon, and it's a real fork, and knife, and a spoon, like real fork. I can't say enough about what this book is and what it means. There is an extremely large discrepancy in the actual truth published by science about how nutrition and enzymes and bacteria work in our body and how to help ourselves. I mean, the chasm is unbelievable. I have people walking around and saying this diet is the only one for me, this only works, fighting over diet styles. The truth of how it works, this is the best that I've ever seen. It's right here. You can get the Ultimate Nutrition Bible. You can go to BioOptimizers. I think we have it up on our link tree, but you can definitely go there through our products, our partners, and you can actually grab this. It doesn't matter whether you are a carnivore, whether you're vegan, whether you're a pescatarian, it doesn't matter what you are, it will give you the tools so that you can actually go through and learn your own health based on how your body performs. There's not one program anywhere in the world that works for everybody. I don't care what it did for somebody else. I don't even care if it worked for you for a week or a month or even a year. Your body is trying to talk to you and trying to get through a message. You can get the Nutrition Bible and you can go through and you can use this instead of having expensive genetic testing and figure out how your body works best and what works best. Wade is a plant-based bodybuilder, and for those of you guys who say you can't build muscle, plant-based bodybuilder just won Mr. North America at 50. And his partner is a ketogenic. And they both meet here with this information. Some of the most researched truths about dieting and the problems around it. So go to the link in our bio, go to BioOptimizers, go to our website under products and under partners, and go to BioOptimizers and grab this. This is a life changer. I really, really, really recommend it. And they're going to send it to you in this cool package. And in this cool package, like I said, we get a knife, a fork, and a spoon to go with it. What I thought was super appropriate and super cool. And start learning more about yourself, because you're going to be going through a journey here this year. If you're working on your health and you're taking out emotions from your body, you're going to do that by reducing the stress in your body. The largest stressor on the human body is the consumption of food. 80% of our power dysregulation is a stress. So 80% of our power goes to food. If you can take that and make it more efficient, all that comes back to healing in your body. So I really want you guys to go and grab that if you can. And again, you can get that through the link in our bio. There's a discount that you can get for that. And if you are anywhere in the Vancouver area, if you're close to Vancouver, I mean, we have people coming from Portugal and from LA. Come in for the 16th, this Saturday. We have the largest indoor healing event that we've done so far. There are hundreds and hundreds of people coming in. If you have a physical pain, if you have an emotional pain, if you've got a chronic issue or disease process, what we're going to be doing is opening up the gateways and getting to the root of what those problems are. You can diet and you can exercise and you can use equipment and you can use science all you want. But if you don't get to the root of the problem, you will never, ever, ever be healthy. And we get to the root of the problem by opening up and letting those emotional gateways open up, which is going to happen. So looking forward to seeing you there. If you're in our Lifestyle Artist program, we have an event afterwards right out here at Lions Bay. And so we'll be seeing everybody in the Lifestyle Artist program is welcome. And we're looking forward to what's coming up this Saturday. If you guys want to know, this is a powerful week. Saturday is a very powerful day. And if you want to know, go to Astro Monday, which is yesterday. It's on our wall. And listen to Astro Monday. And Chris is going to tell you why this Wednesday, this Saturday, and next Monday are so important in your life. And we also are coming to a crescendo where we're coming up to the equinox on the 21st. And then the other big day coming up is January 20th. He'll talk about that in Astro Monday. Go back and listen to it. Send it to somebody. This is a time where people need this more than ever. And when we were talking on the promo video about what's happening in our healthcare system, you haven't seen nothing yet. It's coming like a freight train. And learning how to take care of yourself is more important today than any other time in human history. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.